Okay. Kol Allah, I want to thank the Rabbi Shalom himself, Rabbi Yosef Yafi. And now, I said a vod, I said it the other vod, I'm going to repeat it now. It's half full of a fella. This happened to me years ago. Rabbi Mendel, you're the best Rebbe my son ever had. He never liked school until he had you. Now he loves school. He has you, now he's a happy kid. He never had a Rebbe like you in his life. He used to cry. Now he goes to school happily. I've heard this many times. Well, I exchanged notes with next year's Rebbe, or I overheard next year's Rebbe speaking, the same kid that I had last year. And the Rebbe, I overheard he was telling someone else, you know, that parent, he told me his kid never liked school until me. He never liked school until me. I said, oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know that. I've heard that nusach before. I wonder, I think that's a standard nusach. They're always using it. You know, when somebody tells you something, don't take them serious either way. The never doesn't know if he's coming or going. Does he remember? Does he help up what he said yesterday? Does he remember what he said? Does he know what he said? And you're so worried. What did he say? What is his opinion? That opinion is subject to change. All opinions are subject to change. Now, they asked me, what do you think of that story? He says, well, the real truth is, last year, they were fine. How you doing? Last year, whatever that parent said was without a suffix. That I know. What happened next year is not my business. They're a little bit funny. The mashke is chendu. McKenchen sitzt and macht sich heimisch. Kim from Monroe, the best ever from Monroe, Kim and do. Did you hear what I just said now? It takes 2 hours to get here from Monroe. You know how many people just arrived from Monroe? The best part of Monroe has arrived. You think I'm a regular guy here? You're lucky you're listening to all those people out there. Yes, I mean you too. All you people are lucky to hear Hagain me. I'm joking. Don't. I didn't mean it. Don't get us into tumult. Anyway, don't worry what people say. You don't have to be crazy. That's not a mitzvah. But you don't be afraid of, Rabbi Miller says, don't be afraid of a face. That is so brilliant. Don't be afraid of a face upon him. He's looking at me. By the way, you know why he looks so stressed? Well, he looks like he's deep in thought as he's looking at you. Because he's a nervous guy and he's having financial problems or nachas problems or shalom bayis problems or his own mishigasen, or maybe he's not steiging and learning, or it could be ruchmias. The guy's got problems. And Mamela, you think he's looking at you in deep thought and he's thinking all about you. He's not. And even if he is, what's the difference? You think his opinion means anything? Whose opinion means anything? The Rebbeinu Shalom. I told you I went to Bnei Brak, and I made the best speech Bnei Brak ever heard since Bnei Brak's existence. From Miyamais Chazanish, Bnei Brak never heard better than Anoichi, not such a cotton. I don't just Anoichi a cotton. They should be Yesh Gerson Hagodl. I don't know, it's like Ba'ika, Yesh Darshan Lishvach. Nowadays, they have to sign Hagodl. Don't stop the Hakotten. Don't this Kuten business. Yeah, HaKodesh. Oh, that. Yeah, good. You're good. Sure, you're the best. Anyway, Hakotten, you're not small. Okay. But the Kuten, the Kudish is good. That I'll mask him to Kudish. No, but I would add Kudish for Tua. Or if you're saying Kudish already, let's keep moving. Like I'm not I like the more the better. Later on, and I take everything serious, you know that. I'm a serious person. I'm very serious when it comes to compliments. Even though next year they're going to say the opposite. They're going to say, well, last year wasn't really so good. Oh, would you like to have all the parents that come to the PTA, would they like to have a recorder? And let me play back what you said last year. You'll hear yourself, the way you talk. The way you're raving over last year's Rebbe, and this year the way you're saying the next year's Rebbe. Last year he didn't really do so well. With you, it's gewaldig. And then watch, keep going. Every year. Does anybody know what he said? Does he remember? You remember what you said? My uncle Penny Zatzal once told me about my Bubba. He said, our shakrin has a hard life. Why? Because he doesn't... The guy that's not straightforward, the Mandels were very straight. Not like me. I'm a different dor. But I started off like them. Oh boy. I want to tell you something. Every dor needs something else. I used to be like that. Not stum. And it wasn't so pushit. It wasn't so pushit. I'm by nature a straightforward. I once went collecting money in Australia. I went to the biggest gvir in Gans, Australia. And he didn't, not everybody was on his good list. And he said, okay. And he said he wanted a straight guy. He said, okay, what do you think of me? And he said, you do look very straight. You look, I am like that. I don't know if I still look, I don't know what I look like, but I for sure started off being straight. I've had a lot of Gilgulim since then. But I want to tell you, at this point, now, I want to tell you that my uncle Pinchas, told me about my Bubba from Malaya Mendel. She was a major tzaddik. She started girls' schools in America. She started Chaim Lynch. Hey, look, a lady. That's them. She raised all the Mandels. All the credit goes to from Malaya. So for all of us. Now, so my uncle Pinchas told me, my mother used to say, Devos is if he's a straight guy, then he has an easy life. He knows that's what it is. If you're one of those crooked guys, you're going to have a hard life. That's halten cup. You have to hold your head straight. Wait, what did I say to him? Which lie did I tell him? Which lie did I... Wait, what did I say to him? You have to hold... You can't hold cup to all the lies you said. So when you speak to people, what did I say? Now you got to hold cup. It's a hard life when you're not a straight guy. Is that something? My Bubba, I click as that. Okay, but nowadays, the lie that we're talking about, I mentioned this to a guy from Borough Park. He's here with us. He told me they're coming from Borough Park. They're coming from Monroe, Silver Spring. They come from all over to me. So what did I want to say? Yeah, I told him like this. Rav Nosson Bachfeigel once told me, you know, they're worried. They want to record the stuff that I said. When you said Maise b'chacham echad, does that mean you? No, if it's Maise b'chacham echad, it's not me. Maise b'goyna kodesh v'chula, that must be me. I'm not going to say for sure, but if it sounds like gore, that's me. It's me. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But they want to know what. So I said like this. I used to tell over my Talmidim stories. The first year I taught, every story had to be 100%. Like I said, I started off straight. I was so medactic. In every word I said, it shouldn't be sheker. The story with Yaakov Avinu, that pitchkiv you don't know, you make it up. Just say what's for sure true, and don't go an inch further. So I mentioned this to the Mashgiach of Nosson. He says, it doesn't matter. It is? It doesn't matter. He is so medactic. Is it a true story? The people have a say to this. It's good. So go tell some Baba Mises. If the other believes it, they'll become better. Go for it. Make life easy. So that's one of the places where I learned how to be a little bit more relaxed. You know, I'm not so stressed. Was it true? Was it not true? Anyway, but I want to tell you, when I went to Borough Park, to Bnei Brak, I said that before I spoke, I was plenty nervous in Bnei Brak. Yerushalayim, I wasn't nervous anymore. I had to speak Wednesday and Thursday, 1,000 people in each place. At least that's the way I saw things. If they had a few shots, if sure there was 1,000. I'm joking. But it was a full house. I mean, they had signs all over Eretz Yisrael. You know, I got an aliyah. I was in Breslov for Simchas Torah. I felt Breslov. I'll get along with them. Simchas Torah. I went to Breslov. Anyway, I come to Breslov and they gave me an aliyah. And they said, I might harab. They gave me coveted, but I was not satisfied. I'll tell you the truth. Harab hagain. They said, no. Tzaddik, no. But Tzina Kadisha, the place is on the floor. This they never heard. I said, Zog, say Bechula, and then we'll say Bechula, so then it's going to be okay. Anyway, I had my fun. I didn't tell you what happened with the Rav in Eretz Yisrael, a famous, not a Rav, a Rebbe, a famous name. Oh, very tired, sweet. So I says, we were eating. It was Simchas Torah. We were eating a kiddush, Freilach, Shmini Atzeres, whatever. And and I said, I'd like to kiss the Rav. I was a little high, you know. I'd like to kiss the Rav. It was a packed house, and he smiled and he left out his hand, gave me his hand, and I kissed him. And after I kissed him, I says, I didn't really mean that. I meant this. I meant the real thing. You know. But it's not love, it's not Derech Eretz. Okay. You know my Baruch Bey. I told you heard this already? Oh, you heard this? Okay, shame. I got to get some Chedushim over here. Anyway. What? Chazara. They once asked for a bursa. A Chassidish Yid once came over to him to kiss him. I didn't know what hit him. He was a Litvak. What's that? Kiss me. Oh, you want some cushion? Let's go. Baruch Bey. Anyway, you want to have Abbas Yisrael? First, stop being scared of them. How are you going to have Abbas Yisrael? Rosh Hashiva. There's a doctor. Oh, he's a lawyer. He's a Gevir. He has a lot of money. Musnach. He's a personality. He has a deep voice. You know, you ever seen all these scary guys are all over the place. The scariest ones are the 5-year-old kids. The parents are petrified. Don't turn them off. You know, Yankee doesn't like that. Don't turn them off. Okay. Now let me tell you what's going on lately with me. Who's been calling me lately? Oh, now you're talking. Ah, sehr good. Now this Pasha, I'm going to listen to this for a topful of a fellow. What does it say? Vayatiru? What does it say, Yitzchak Avinu? Vayeta Yitzchak l'nochech ishtoi ki akorahi. It should say she was an akora, and therefore he davening. No. It davened with his wife because she's an akora. It's a little funny. Yitzchak davened no matter what. He just needs an excuse to daven. I'm going to daven them, and your life is ani sfila. David Amel said, "Ich ben a shtik tefillah." That's all I do. Okay, we need excuses. Don't have kids. Oh, that's a good reason. So now we can take a daven. Yeah, what's going on? Beautiful shot. That's the Rav's shot. Is that delicious? I got a better one. Just this one. From people and me do not get along. I still keep Shabbos. Don't get scared. It's not a joke. What trouble I have with them, the frummies are driving me up a wall. I keep saying this. Don't be frum. You sure you want to come to me? That's all you're going to hear. You have no idea what they cause have. They machriv themselves and under frum. Well, when I myself from Ayin Horis, I said that, and I think that's the reason why I have Tzoris till today, because I once said something, boom, 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 and because I once did, and now I'm being punished. Yeah, it's all over the place. Lahavdul. I don't want to put down these people. They'll get schar, and they have Yesudim, but Goyim do that too. You know that? There's certain nervous types, or certain whatever. You have to go to Derech HaTorah. Darkei Noyam. It's not Noyam going around all day. I'm getting punished because I did this. It's not Darkei Noyam. Lost up. It's not Ratzon Hashem. Anyway, I want to tell you something. You want to be a happy person? We start off when you start davening, you start off with Tchiyas HaMeisim. You're not Yaitze without that. You know that? If you don't have Kavanah by the first 3 brachas, that's an ikuv. You know that? The rest of it, all right. But it's a din. What's an ikuv? Tchiyas HaMeisim, beyond Nisim and Neflois. A Jew's brain has to be full of miracles, miracles, miracles. Look at this. You're not Yaitze Tefillah. That's the Ikka Tefillah Shemona Esrei. You're not Yaitze without that. Believe in Nisim Gluyim. Tchiyas HaMeisim. That's the pits. That's not shy. Now you can daven. And you want to talk about Tzias Mitzrayim, Ezras, and Emes V'Amuna. All they talk, those Jews, Nisim. I don't chap. Why doesn't anybody believe in that except for Mendel? Why, if you're a Tomim, Baal Shem HaKudosh took a gadol and he went over the Dnipro River on stepping on the gadol. And he said, I didn't do any special stuff. I just was a Tomim. Maybe you can do anything. If you're a Tomim, you're going to have a different. Do you know what just happened recently? I'll tell you a Maisa Neidaboyim. Yeah, so this Maisa is Neidaboyim. This kid is not normal. By the way, my 3 biggest successes at this point I got much more. With Yena Machla, you can't imagine how many people got. I told you the Maisa with the flu. I told you with the flu. I'm in the guy's house. I had to help him out. He has problems. Suddenly his wife starts screaming, and you're worried, you see problems, and I have the flu. I can't move, I can't talk, I can't boom. So I said, you got a problem? Ice flu. I said, that's 2 words that Ebba said. Ice flu. No more. On the spot, I promise you. You want to ask the guy? She was taunting. It was over in a second. The next day, I'm on the phone. You heard this already? I heard COVID. This guy's wife has COVID. Rabbi Mendel, I have COVID. Ice. I says, the other lady, ice flu. You, ice COVID. It's the same. If he could do that, he could do this. I say him as V'yatze with Kavona, with Musa. When I say that, Gal Yisrael, I mean it. What's a flu? You ever hear Kriyas Yamsuf? You say it every day. What are you saying it for? Because it's halacha? I'm more a Baal Musa than a Baal halacha. If you're a Baal Musa, then you at least believe what you're saying. If you're a Baal halacha, I don't know. I believe you should be a Baal halacha too. Especially if you're not a Maimon Deriga. At least be a Baal halacha. Don't give that up. You'll end up with nothing. So stick to the rules. I said it before Chatzos. Whatever. I said it. I was Yaitze. Let's go before Zman. You got Zman Krishma. You got your Tefillah B'tziba. You got Ganuk. Stay in your Madariga. But I recommend learn a little Musa before you daven Shachris. Learn Shar B'tachon. And you believe it. You'll learn a lot of B'tachon. Your own problems. Write down your booklet, your own pekel that disappeared, that you forgot about. And then when you say Gal Yisrael, you say, it happened to me. Instead of, Kriyas Yamsuf, Ezras, I don't chop it. I hold it to scandal. Reb Chaska Levenstein should come down from Yeneveld and be made. Mendel, you're saying exactly what I'm screaming about all my life. Reb Chaska will be a Meilat Yeshu, because that's all he talked about. Kriyas Yamsuf was his life. Every day. That's why the whole Mir Yeshiva, how they get out of Europe. There is no group of Jews that got out, including, I don't want to say, the Tzayanim couldn't get a group out. Yevsetskia, all those Shvatz Yochevra, never got a group out. Yiddishisten never got a group out. All these Jewish organizations, Reform, did they ever get a group to leave? No such thing. Not the Reform, none of these Chevra. A group of from Jews who had their Chatzkel. And even though they were the biggest B'nai Torah in the world, the Mir Yeshiva, I have no words for them. I go bananas over them. I'm crazy over the Mir Yeshiva. Even though I hold myself Novandig and Slobodka, I'm a different. But the Mir, I can't describe them. They were so, I can't be massing the sweetness of a Mir Yeshiva Bachel. Oh, this Kedusha, the Psiris Nefesh, forget about it. They were beyond. They're sitting there in Olam Haba, the Altamiras. There was Shmuel Berman, Shmuel Brudny, with Rabban cries at him, I know the best. And together with Rebellion, I forget, every one of them. The Altamiras, what they were, Yeshiva Bacha those days, he couldn't get a shidduch, you know that. When he went to become a Yeshiva Bacha, all the girls said, not for me. He knew. He may never get, the Altamiras never got married. And by the time they got married, Reb Leib Malin had no kids. By the time he finally got married, he was a Gadol Yisrael Mamish. He couldn't do it. Who wants to marry a bank kvetcher? They don't want to touch him. You know that? Serious Nefesh from a Yeshiva Bacha. On the Vadig. Forget it, the Vadig. Now, what was I saying? How did they get out? They had Reb Chatzkel. They got a whole group out. Chatzkel didn't want to go. What's wrong with getting killed by the Nazis? That's great stuff. He goes straight to Olam Haba, together with Haruge Lud, together with Rabbi Akiva and all his friends. Let's go. It's good stuff. He was in his own world. The Nazis are coming, so let them come. We'll find a way to get to the highest place. He wasn't an Olam Hazadik person. Well, how are you going to manage? He was a happy person. He lived with the truth. And that's why he had to leave his passport under his pillow. So his daughter, because his daughter needed an operation. It was a serious zach. And she was afraid he was going to leave without her. So he took his passport, put her on her pillow. I'm not leaving without you, don't worry. And he wasn't going to leave in the yeshiva. Oh, you want to leave? You could leave. I'm staying here with the Nazis. My daughter needs help, medical help. I'm sticking around. And they finally said, without you, we're not going. Because they knew he believed in Yetzias Mitzrayim. He learned Musa. Chatzkel learned Musa. He was there. He was a Lamdan. Who did he learn? He was a Lamdan. I asked Rabban Kreis. I wanted to check him out. He was big by Musa, but wasn't at Launen, you know. You thought want to know, was he into it? You know, he's as given a Lamdan. If Rabban Kreis said he was a Lamdan, he was okay. You don't have to check on Reb Chatzkel. But he was heavily involved in Musa, and not Stam. And he saved the Mir Yeshiva. When he left, they knew. This is a story, if it happened or it didn't happen. But it's a great story either way. When the bombs started falling, everybody was flat on the ground. And 100 people were touching Reb Chatzkel. Because they know you touched his pinky, you're safe. They didn't do that to anyone else. But somebody who said Ezras with Kavana, now we're talking business. Somebody was hot the Amuna, the Meibishten. Now you're safe. Anyway, they all know was we had Nisim Kuluyim. Guess who saved them? The enemy, the Japs. The Japs were the Nazis' best friend. You know that? Who was it? A Jap or a Chinese? Who was the guy? Suguhara. You know the story? What? A Japanese guy. It was the enemy that Atzadik Yisai Dolam. He became a ger later, no? He was a Jap. He didn't become a ger? What happened there, I don't know. But anyway, out. He stamped passports day and night. The whole yeshiva got out. And suddenly all the communists decided they liked these Jews. You know, you ever hear of the NKVD? That's the KGB's, you know, the regionale KGBs. They gave them a royal service. They went right Trans-Siberian Railroad down, you know the story? Until they got to Japan. Because Chatzkel believed in Kriyas Yam and believed in Yetzias Mitzrayim. It's Kedai. It's Kedai. Put kaiches. It's a scandal. I hold the Olam. before you daven shacharis from now on, I know you learned daf yomi. Don't give that up. Please, you'll end up with nothing soon. But in Novandik, an hour before davening Moshe, and Mendel, which Moshe? Bטחון, versteht. It's a different door. You got to get Amuna Bטחון. Now you can daven shacharis. Now you'll say Ezras. So you won't be, you may have to say it a little faster because you're too busy with your Musa. But you'll say it. Your heart will be there. Ezras, you're talking all day about Ishali. How happy you are, how it calms you down from all your problems. Learn Bטחון, how geschmack, how sweet. You know it's very sweet? You get into a big crowd, that's scary, and start singing. You want to curse? Be scared of these old bedrooms. Allah gains some toilet, and you're scared. Allah, af echad. If he doesn't go, we got serious problems. We got other problems. They all gains, all of them, when they leave the world, they'll smell worse than that. All the nevelis, the human carcass, smells worse. And that's the guy who's so scared of the doctor, the lawyer, the Rosh Yeshiva. You're afraid of him because he's Rosh Yeshiva? You're v'chal afraid. You're probably even more afraid of the Gvir. No? Don't tell me to cover that Torah. You're scared of everybody. So, anyway, let me have some more of my schnapps, my Budweiser. Every time I drink this, I'm budding with steiging away and getting wiser and wiser. If you're a tamim, you believe in what I said, it's going to work. If you're a skeptic, it's not going to work. I'm a tamim. The other time they had Miller's High Life. When as soon as I saw High Life, from now on, I'm going to have a good, the Hayben 11. You believe it? It's going to work. You know why I have so much zikr rabim? Every time I eat carrots, my wife puts the carrots in the soup. Every carrot I take out, Yiratz and Sheyirbu Medin, Yirbus Chiyaseno. I say it a lot. Keep saying it. Every time I say it, I sense there's a more. Now I have Yaakov Shor writing for Bטחון Weekly, and now I have Moshe Hirschberg, who made his own Zichur Torahs Moshe. They incorporated it. I heard that the Spring Hill Times wanted to enhance their periodical to make it more geschmack. So they took Hirschberg. Here he is, Rabbi Hirschberg. Gewaldig. I read it today. It's beautiful stuff. There's nothing like it. Rabbi Hirschberg puts out good, beautiful stuff. And Rabbi Yaakov Shor, you wait till you see his stuff. Whenever I give out my Bטחון Weekly, can I please have the other kind, Rabbi Shor's? Yeah, the professional kind. The kind that, by the way, they're imitating you. You know that? You know they're imitating? I know that you're getting schar for all the guys that are copying you. Is that something? L'chaim. Anyway, Remy, on the Budweiser's Kavaldi. Let me have some more. This Rebbe, I'm not like a typical Rebbe. Be Michael me. I don't have a streimel. I don't need a big chassidus. You know, I'm a different. Therefore, when I drink, I want to enjoy myself. I don't have to be here and take a drop and then don't give me any more because too much gashmias. I don't work like that. Now look, I'm kidding around a little bit, but this week's Pasha, Yitzchak Avinu, the Oila Tmima, I gotta make matamim asheru ohev, his favorite dish. You're not embarrassed when you learn the Torah? Why are they matargim that? You know, there's Gemara in Megillah. Some things you shouldn't be matargim. It's embarrassing to Aaron, to Ma'aser Ruvain, don't matargim. Then matargim that? He enjoyed his chocolate chip cookies. Yitzchak Avinu, you know what you're talking about? He likes that dish. And his wife understood his good taste. No, say something on that. It was hoichailamis. You know, the Torah is made for all levels. But Yitzchak and Mishta also like, what's going on here? V'leitma for them, tav zayin, namal. Enjoy life. Don't become a Zam Malach over here. That's why I'm out to kill all those from the guys that make me crazy. From people, I said something wrong when I was a child, and since then, I feel, have a good time. You know what I told him? I told it, this is a true story. The guy comes over to me 15 years ago. You heard this one? Last time I was in Hawaii, someone put him in Sioux City, Iowa. And the guy calls me up, Rabbi Mendel, he was crying on the phone. That part is true. He was crying on the phone. He did something, he had to do something. Somebody was makalkal his mishpacha. And he had to give him a gatershin. A certain person in his life. He had a psak from one gadol after another. You're mechuyev to do it. He did it, and right afterwards, the stock market crashed. Suddenly he lost this, suddenly he lost money, suddenly he lost friends, he lost his learning, got some ISIS. And he's crying to me, I know. And I asked the Mechila, I asked him Mechila, his wife asked his wife Mechila, they asked Mechila, and I know it's because I did this. What are you going to do with such a guy? I said, my friend, since you were born, you're going around guilt. I did something wrong, right or wrong. Before this guy was born, when you were way back, you admitted it's true. I says, you have a way of thinking that invites these type of nisyanis. Isn't that something? Like people go around all day, medapam gelt, that's all you. Kids are here at Gears to the Yonkers, send the kids in. Gears to the Yonkers, we need money. As soon as they grow up, they have problems financially. They heard it from the father all day. Medapam gelt, that's what they end up making trips and making money. Life is digest of money. You know, people I said right away, I can tell that's in your bones for dairas. I'm never finished with you. Even when I give you money, well, it's not working out. Or people that they kvetch a lot, so the kids are also going to kvetch. They'll just find different things to kvetch about. But you're going to think it's a different thing. It's all the same. By ins is a maseris, we kvetch. We're all the same. Anyway, so I do this to get rid of a lot of my problems. L'chaim. So listen to this story. The boy was in my room with the parents, and the boy was flying from here to there. He was tight meshuga, l'chol hadeis, l'chol hamafarsha, until Mendel got involved. He was normal for 8 months. He ran over to me in the street. Rabbi Mendel became normal. He even came to my vad and he acted normal like him. I didn't believe what I was looking at. He was tight and sugar. He was born like he was a Nebuchadnezzar. So anyway, so what happened? The Mendel gave him a bracha, became a new person. And suddenly the bracha boomeranged and he's worse than ever. And I tried this, didn't work. Tried that, didn't work. I got a whole, my sheetas, didn't work. See Mendel? I says, he's cured. But you see, it's not working. He's cured. Don't give me it's not working. By me, there's no such thing. I don't throw in the towel. Miriam, why is she the mother of Malchus? Because when Amram told her, it was her idea that Moshe Rabbeinu, that they should get married again, so they'll have a boy. Because the father divorced, Amram divorced his wife, and Gans Klal Yisrael followed. He was a girl ador. And Miriam says, you're worse than Pari, because Pari's guys are only in the Zcharim, and your guys are under the Kavas too. Get married. He patched her on the head, he got married. At the Chasana, by the chuppah, she was dancing, he said, Mashiach and Shel Yisrael is going to be born. Right afterwards, Moshe was born. And she's Moshe's big sister. And right after he was born, her mother put her in a teva, and into the Nile River, it's over. And her father patches her again on the head. He said, Miriam, look, what happened to your nevuah? Miriam is not Miyayish. She stands and stands and stands and waits. And she was right. Then the rest is history. Basi Bas Pari says, you know who else did that? Rivka. Rivka Imenu was 3 years old when she married And here she goes against the Gadol Hador, her husband. And she makes a whole shtick with Yaakov. I'm going to tell you murder about Yaakov Avinu. How would you like to have a name which means, the meaning of the name is the smelly foot of Esav HaRasha himself, Yaakov. Vayikra Shema Yaakov, Akev, you're holding the Akev. That's us, Ikvis of the Mashiach. The lowlifes, we're stepping on dirt all day, Akev. They're nobodies. How would you like to have a name like that? What are you supposed to do? Zog the Bali Musa, you have to go extreme the other way. And Yaakov Avinu learned Musa for sure. And he for sure learned the Rambam Mishmai Prakim that says you got to go extreme the other way. And the Alter from the Vayik says if you're a shovel, you go extreme geiger. As soon as he got the opportunity, Esav, you want the lentil soup? Give me a bechira. I'm on top, not you. What are you doing? Because that's my avodas Hashem. I started, I'm an Akev, I got to go all the way on top. You know, Chazal say he did not have a nice name. Esav did have a nice name, Moshe Nasiya. So then his mother Rivka comes over, and she says, Yankala, it's not enough when you're working on your midas. You got to work on your midas again and again. You never finish with that. Now I want you to do another spitzel against your brother, and I'll put you on top with the brachas too. And she took him. How do you like my pshat? He's going against his midah from aleph to tav. Isn't that something? And we should do the same thing. Go against your midah and go all the way on top. Don't be afraid of him. Not so good, and that's what it is. I said a hafadik about years ago. First of all, I was speaking about Kriyas Yamsuf. I said that kid's going to be normal. And they came back again. He's still no. He is. But he's still not. They got back and forth to me a few times. And I says, I'm not impressed. I'm like Miriam. She doesn't give up. That's Malchus, by the way. David HaMelech never gave up. Chizkiah HaMelech never gave up. That's Malchus. Now you're Melech. You're like oil going on top. Mashiach Hashem. You want to be like Mashiach? Learn not to give up. That's his way of thinking. You want to be? Don't give up. But I tried to daven so hard. You daven again. This time, Galinsky, I was once sitting together, Rav Galinsky and Rav Kalman Krohn were sitting together, and we go, Rav Kalman was great. Rav Kalman told me, Mendel, we got the best of the Krohns is ours. And you know what he told me? Rav Kalman, the Heilige Rav Kalman, had his picture over there. He said, Halavai, we could have more gaiva. He told me this. You know, he was the one that got me to go to Rabban Segel for Shabbos. I was scared. Rabban Segel, boo, boo, boo. Go, that's the worst thing. He gave me a push, and I called up, I'd like to come for Shabbos. Boom. And his Rebbetzin called, of course, because no one dares do that. You know, I'm inviting myself for Shabbos, and I came. It was meridic. Rabban Segel, what a schus. Maybe that's why I'm so chashiv today. Something wore off with Rabban, I don't know. Anyway, so Reb Kalman was the one that pushed me not to be scared. He says, the worst thing, don't be afraid of anybody. But Kalman Krohn is a famous story when he was in Eretz Yisrael. It was a big Knesset Gedolah, everybody getting into Gedolah. There was nobody inside. Kalman says, I don't know if it happened or not. I could believe it big time. Reb Kalman went ahead, he took a tray, put a cup of tea, picked it up, told all the guys in charge of it to block him, I have to bring in the tea for the Gedolim. Who? To see Moshe. I think so. See, that's the full Kalman. He got in. He wasn't a fool, Reb Kalman. That's he learned the Mama Rivka snuck. You got to be a little sneaky, you know. Don't be such a straightforward. Be sneaky. He used to get in. They say Reb Aaron Cutler and knew that people. I know somebody who faked his age, a famous Rosh Yeshiva. He faked his age. He said he looked tall. He faked his age to Reb Aaron. Reb Aaron led him into Lakewood, and they say that Reb Aaron knew that guys used to do that, and he liked it. But it's not the truth. It's okay. But it's not true. How dare you lie? We're all a bunch of liars. So often people call me up And I say, you got to start lying about your kid. He's not so bad. I can't lie. Please hang up. We're not a shidduch. I only deal with people who lie. I don't deal with straight boards. I'm going to go nowhere. The Lord says, you want to be straight? Go straight, right off the cliff. Going, Simon Gesund. I'm not straight. I'm officially, you want to know where I got this from? Get the tape from Rabbi Miller, the artificial man. Yeah, he himself told me things that weren't really true. They became true. Because you're working on yourself. Bטחון, don't be such a straight guy. Got one more minute, then we'll start getting. Anyway, that kid became normal because I believe in Kriyas Yamsuf. I say it, you believe it, you're holding there, you learn most. I don't care. At least I talk like I believe in the biggest Ma'aseh. I keep doing it. This kid's normal. And the lady the next day, I said, you're cured from your, from your COVID, ice COVID. The husband calls me up. He says, I was not your chassid. I was against you. My wife is like, she believes, but I'm not. But it disappeared. She was supposed to go on for weeks with this COVID business. It got, as soon as Mandel gave a bracha, ice. And the next day a headache disappeared also. That was the last symptom. It was all gone. Now he's calling me. You know what he called me? He has high blood pressure, very high. I said, did you go to a doctor? Yes, that's why you have high blood pressure. Keep away from doctors. I says, how much did you have before you got it? I can tell you the numbers. The guy's 40. He had 43, whatever, and over 85. That's not terrible at all. I don't care what anybody says. I know these things. But that much I know about. Anyway, so he says, but the doctor said you got to take care of it. I say, don't go to a doctor and take as much salt as you want. I'm not telling everybody to do that, but my friends do it. And my average friend is 85, 90. And they don't care. If you don't care, if you're really not afraid, and you learn a lot of Bטחון, eat whatever you want. You won't even gain weight. If you're real, that you got to work harder on. Because the world holds from food means this. Automatically. I've seen people, before they took it, the fatty stuff in the mouth, the button popped. It was time you crove on the end. Because the belief that food has to make you gain, it's all in your cup. I have people, my chassid, who lost weight, and when they ate, no diet, normal food, and as soon as they ate too much, they said, well, Rabbi Mendel said, Adarabba, and they lost another pound after overeating. I promise you. You want to know I had it written up, the guy who did it. The ladies found out about Rabbi Golombek advertised it. All the ladies in the world went berserk. All the overweight ladies. The average lady, if she's an American lady, it's her achmanis, because she's automatically overweight, no matter what. No, but it's not enough. No, you have to turn into a zayt. Okay.